5 years, let's call it. And we're going to come in here at the very end of game number 1, right before we get into game 2 action. But look at this from Mengucci. Oh no. He is just going off here.
I know there's a lot to figure out, but I can safely say Andrea is extremely far ahead here. I mean, look at this board. 4 Cavalier of Thorns, double Leaf Kindred, Risen Reef, how many... And there's a Finale of Devastation here in hand as well.
Oh,
with
no.
Nissa, right? So we can see Finale for 1 million here.
It might actually be 1 million.
Could be close.
He's not going to attack at all this turn. It looks like this was the big untap with Nissa turn. Even though Seth Manfield has double Nightpack Ambusher plus 2 Wolf Friends, normally you'd think that's pretty good. He is just simply outclassed with quadruple Cavalier of Thorns for Mengucci.
Yeah, 2 4/4s a turn? Nah, whatever. Don't care.
And Manfield's just going to pass the turn back here. So now he's got the 2 5/5s and 4 4/4s, which, again, at least is going to help bolster the defenses.
So we're probably going to, you know, see a Finale for 10 probably here.
Oh,
and the thing
no.
is, because he has access to so much mana, I mean, he can use Nissa here. Although he did he filter Garenberg? I don't know if you...
Well,
oh, no,
not
he did
for
it.
this.
He did it.
Yeah.
So, all right, Finale. I mean, are we getting the pig?
Oh,
We're getting
there
the pig.
it is! Enraged Forerunners!
Oh, look at this damage!
It's the battlefield! Look at that, our Breel Creatures are 12-15!
Everything gets
Do it,
plus
all
12,
of them.
plus 12,
Everybody.
and trample!
Oh my goodness sakes.
I am
Seth
not going to add this
Manfield.
up for you, Marshall. I'm sorry.
Seth, what gave him the nice? He's like, dude, this is savage. Oh my god, look at all the damage!
Minus
Oh, minus
146.
146 damage!
All right. That's a new record, folks.
Wow, okay, that's one way to do it. Even Manfield had to be like, nice. Wow. All right, Andrea Mengucci with the clean victory there. 1 game up. And that means that we're going to go into game number 2. My goodness sakes. Whew.
And we also already saw Andrea fall earlier to a Simic Flash deck, but like you said, you know, he's also beaten some of these decks over the course of the tournament. So, you know, it really just comes down to kind of how explosive of a start he can get.
Well, both players with a mana creature on turn 2. Ooh, am I seeing more blue mana? No, just the Paradise Druid here for Manfield.
Yeah, so he doesn't have the
Could be a
ability to
problem.
play Frilled Mystic here, so it looks like he's just going to run out of Hydrate Crisis here instead.
Finds a second copy of Quench, passes the turn back. Here's Growth Spiral on turn 2 now.
Great start here for Andrea. I mean, we got Leafkin Druid into Growth Spiral, and he's going to be able to play a Risen Reef here too. Oh, and another Risen Reef.
Hello.
And all of a sudden, I mean, we're looking at 6 lands in play. Andrea can start, you know, kind of fairly easily play around those Quenches and Mystical Disputes that Seth has in his deck.
Yeah, that is one of the hidden powers of Andrea's deck, is that he can put out so many lands. I mean, even his ramp targets put more lands onto the battlefield.
And you have to feel safe here, right? Because you can play around, you know, Seth doesn't have access to hard counters with just 1 blue mana, right?
Exactly.
He's got the 4 Forest and the Paradise Druid, so he can safely run out the Risen Reef and still pay for a Quench or Mystical Dispute here.
He finds Castle Garenberg. He takes it into his hand so he can get it untapped here.
What a start here from Andrea.
There's Leafkin Druid.
I mean, I think Seth needs to counter this. This is a lot of mana. You go for the Mystical Dispute here to prevent the 2 triggers from the Risen Reef.
That's right. It's 2 triggers from Risen Reef, plus both Leafkins would then make 2 mana each. This is actually holding off quite a bit, even though it does just look kind of like random Leafkin Druid.
Yeah, and Andrea debating whether or not he wants to fight over this Leafkin Druid, because if it does resolve, I mean, you're getting 2 cards and 3 additional sources of mana.
Yeah, it's certainly tempting to fight over it. The question is, if the shields are down, could something really terrible happen to you? Of course, Nis is the card that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But he's going to fight. Seth, with only 2 mana left over, will not be able to pay for Mystical Dispute here, and this Druid is going to resolve. And this is going to be trigger on the Risen Reef.
Ooh.
Okay, can he hit a land? No.
But, you know, Krasis is exactly the type of card you want against this permission deck, because you can just Krasis for 6 or 8, draw a bunch of cards. If you want to counter it, I don't even care. It doesn't matter. I still got my value.
And there is no Nissa here, by the way, for Seth Manfield, so even though the shields temporarily down there for Mengucci. He's totally fine.
And look at all this mana.
4 mana just from those Leafkin Druids. Now Castle Garenbrig as well, and we're going to see
a 10-10 Hydrate Crisis?
Hello. He's even leaving up Ether Gust, so he's going to go for an 8-8 here.
Okay, right. So this plays around Quench. Wow, and Seth is holding exactly Quench here too.
Geez, Seth has to just shake his head. This one, very well may be over. I mean, seriously, like at this point,
he is too far behind.
Seth come back from this at all?
The Simic Flash deck has a really tough time coming back when you're behind.
Oh, and he's going to take his only blue mana source off the table here with Ether Gust. Just mean stuff from Andrea Mengucci. And a Night Pack Ambusher, similar to the last game, is just not enough. It's just too small.
And this is going to do it. I mean, Andrea just has all the tools in the world now. He has all the mana, all the value, even an uncounterable threat here in the Shifting Ceratops.
An emotional roller coaster of a weekend for Seth Manfield, but it does look like it's coming to an end at the hands of Andrea Mengucci, who now plays Cavalier of Thorns. Yep, that's an elemental too. And Seth just takes a drink of water because he knows the writing is on the wall.
Absolutely.
And this one is over. And I did say it before, I'll say it again, this is an elimination match. So this will do it for Seth Manfield and put Andrea Mengucci one step forward, trying to win yet another Magic tournament this year. The question really is just how much can Seth take?
Andrea's playing multiple 5/5s and still might discard this turn.
Yeah,
that's how much value he's getting.
He's going to play Shifting Ceratops here as well. And Mengucci knows he's got this one on lockdown. Got Seth Manfield to minus 146 damage in game 1, and this one, he is so far ahead, it's impossible for a blue-green deck to come back with the cards that he has access to, and Mengucci's going to advance.
The land shall conquer you.
Yeah, Mengucci with the ideal mana start, and Seth, you know, like once again plagued with mana problems here. You know, we've seen this, unfortunately, multiple times over the course of the final rounds of this tournament, where you know just can't find the second blue source to be able to fire off his counterspells in time.
And that, in fact, does it. Andrea Mengucci defeats Seth Manfield and moves on, knocking Seth out of the tournament. And you can see just a little bit of a head shake there, like, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. Seth Manfield, again, he had a very emotional weekend where he didn't think he was going to make it into the top 8. Then he did make it into the top 8. He needed to make day 2 to unlock some goals of his. He did.